Confessions, key takeaways from women who love too much. All I can say is wow. I just finished reading and listening to Women Who Love Too Much for the first time, and I feel called out and also actually at peace with my past behaviors. I would always think that my previous behaviors were shameful and just not worth talking about. But it is said that many of us have grown up to be conditioned the same way in how we approach and act in relationships with men. Honestly, I am tired of acting like this for 10 years, and this book really put into words a lot of actions and feelings that a lot of us go through. Hopefully, some of these are relatable and helpful to you to look into as well. Some harsh truths are number one, if you come from a dysfunctional home and struggle with learned helplessness or possibly depression, but also like drama, this may apply to you. Do you like to argue, as in get off on it? Like to be ornery just because? Like feeling sorry for yourself, have a woe is me attitude without looking at the situation factually? You may be a person who actually enjoys being unhappy because you are used to being unhappy and accepting shitty treatment. You wait for it at the door like a happy dog waiting for its owner. The second truth is, for me personally, I used to pick introverted, needy guys because I knew they'd probably not be the type to cheat or be around a lot of girls, so I wouldn't have to worry about them cheating on me or leaving me. Guess what? They still treated me like shit and did less than the bare minimum. In fact, they became really cocky that I obsessed over our relationship so much and knew I wouldn't leave. I was also not interested in the things they were interested in at all. I also don't like introverted men. I like men who are outgoing, and I've always wanted a man who is so proud to be with me and who had similar hobbies, but found those men kind of intimidating, like they would be more flirtatious and I'd have to fight off other women for them. The book stated this is a form of managing or control behavior, where you feel like this person can be easily molded into whatever you think you need them to be. This can also be a person who has an addiction. It's no wonder that as soon as the smokescreen is over or the man gets help with this addiction, the relationship is likely to crumble because you cannot control him or obsess over his life anymore. The third truth is attaching to men and then settling for their less than great treatment was familiar. See, the number one point in just accepting it was as good as it gets because, oh well, I picked him, so I should put up with it. Then complain until I finally left. Dating down was safe to me. Fourth one, I'm not comfortable in most relationships because I fear abandonment. Because of that fear, I feel the need to go above and beyond for people to ease that anxiety, not because I feel the person deserves extra special treatment. Many women in the book have learned maladaptive ways to relate and to behave around people. This is called performing, in order to subtly manipulate and get what they want by anticipating other people's needs. Thus, you slowly but surely detach from your own. This could have been learned in childhood if you grew up in a home where your survival skill was to be invisible or the angry scapegoat in order to function. The fifth truth is that I preferred delusion over reality a lot because I was so desperate to feel loved and accepted, but I didn't love any of my boyfriends or suitors, even though I said to myself that I did. I was obsessed with them during and after the relationship. Most of us do because we are looking to be rescued and saved. The sixth truth is that to me, I really felt like giving my all to someone with no boundaries meant that I loved them. So I was set up in a position to always prove myself to people instead of the other way around, which is why I think I whined and complained a lot. I got off on a victim mentality, but was also chronically disempowered. There's a section that talks about the dynamics of the Karpman drama triangle and how we can actually play a dance in that with our partner, often switching roles through what the book just calls games. Even as easily in one exchange, you and your partner can be the persecutor, the victim, and the savior, all in one game playing conversation. In order to get better, you must recognize and break out of that game cycle in order to find your peace. Sixth truth is do not take on their shit. A good example is with the mentioned Karpman drama triangle. A lot of times when you're stuck in this dynamic while simultaneously taking on this man's issues, when this conflict inevitably blows up in your face, likely he will walk away blaming you for the issue and for the blowout, even if it is not your issue or your fault that the fight started. This actually does a disservice to both people because the man or the addict doesn't even see that they have an issue. They see your nagging as the issue. And you, of course, are blamed as his own as a big boy. If he cares about getting help for his addiction, sickness, or whatever, he will do it. If he doesn't, it's not because of you. Let him succeed and fail on his own. 7, I have been using my friends as free therapy for a long time. I would offer up a lot of sob stories to get to relate to them, which left me open and gave them power over me because I felt so beaten down and bad about myself that I genuinely felt people should fix me or solve my own problems. So I wasn't really growing emotionally on my own. I see now that having poor emotional control leaves me as a vulnerable target, and now I'd rather be seen as a bitch or as cold or mean than childish. I had been begging my mom for therapy since I was 16. Luckily, I started going 5 years ago and also started my FDS journey over a year ago. So it's no wonder I was spilling out. The eighth truth is that how manipulative and dishonest a lot of my behavior was. I had so low of confidence, self-esteem, felt uncomfortable in dating because I had no confidence in feeling I could properly love someone or that I could be properly loved. It wouldn't matter that I was accomplished, in good shape, or whatever I had going on in my life that was good. I walked around believing I was literally Shrek and believed that all I had to offer was sex to keep the man I liked from leaving me. So I'd offer it up very quickly, played up the sexy persona until I literally couldn't anymore because of weight gain. I believed deep down I had nothing to offer to a man I truly wanted. A lot of women who love too much thrive on denial. It is like their IV tab of survival and of existing because, again, that's how they learned to function in dysfunctional homes. They have built their entire lives around lies. The ninth truth is that co-addictions. The author writes that women who love too much can also suffer from alcoholism, drug abuse, shoplifting, and even an eating disorder, especially overeating. That was huge and also surprising because with having to try so much, you are often stressed out. Stress eating is so common and has been something that's been a habit for years with me. The book encourages those who do have a core addiction to also seek help in these areas. If left unchecked, you can actually die from loving too much behaviors, and it can cause things like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and so forth. The book recommends therapy, of course, but also getting support in the other areas of addictions you may suffer from. You will need it and you absolutely deserve it. The 10th truth is that treating real potential suitors like lepers and like shit. Admitting that there were so many supporters and suitors who did find me amazing and cared for me with my flaws, but I had never mentioned to them or given them their credit because I was too wrapped up in being obsessed with Chad, Brad, Kyle, and wrapping my self-esteem into their behavior. This one, I think, is a given for many of us who struggled with this affliction. Felt no spark, underwhelmed, not attracted to anyone, etc. To men who would give me of what I would beg my exes for with their left pinky, and then some, and I would run for the hills. The very last chapter of the book talks about finding a healthy match and a man who loves and accepts you and pursues you, and how to handle those internal obstacles once you've healed. It is so neat. The last truth is that working the steps is a lot like the CODA steps. A lot of the stories of women pertain around alcoholic, addicted homes and relationships. Please, if you read this chapter, save it and keep coming back. There's some baby steps that I've done to work them, but I truly believe what is outlined is as life-changing as the book states. Overall, I highly recommend this book. It is so uncomfortable. It will make you cry, but I think it is a key to change if you suffer from giving too much in relationships or staying with bad partners. I cannot thank FDS enough for recommending this book.